In the spotlight tonight is Andrew Warmington from Hampton in Middlesex, a trade magazine editor. His specialist subject is capital punishment in the UK since 1945. Richard Johnston from London, a finance director. His subject, the history of the Rugby Union World Cup. Andy Kelly from Rochdale, a development officer, and his subject is the life and films of John Belushi. And Gordon Troughton from Rugby, a retired telephone engineer whose subject is the history of Birmingham Royal Ballet. Hello, I'm John Humphreys and welcome to Mastermind. I don't suppose I need remind you how it works because the rules are very simple. Our contenders get 2 opportunities to answer questions, 2 minutes on their chosen subject and 2 minutes on their general knowledge. The clock, of course, is king. At the end of the series, somebody will walk away with a splendid glass bowl. They'll also, more importantly perhaps, take with them the title of Mastermind, a rare honour. So, let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Andrew Warmington.
Your occupation?
Trade magazine editor.
And your chosen subject?
Capital punishment in the UK since 1945.
2 minutes on that, starting now. Between 1945 and abolition in 1964, which was the only year in which no executions took place?
1956.
Correct. Who was the cabinet minister's son arrested in Italy and hanged at Wandsworth for treason in 1945?
John Amory.
Yes. Who was the Labour MP for Nelson and Cone whose private member's bill ended the death penalty in 1965?
Sidney Silverman.
It was. The conviction of Ruth Ellis, the last woman to be hanged in the UK, was upheld by the Court of Appeal in December 2003 after being referred to it by which independent investigative body?
The Royal Commission on Capital Punishment?
No, the Criminal Cases Review Commission. What name was given to the rules under which a person would have to prove insanity, thus allowing them to escape the gallows?
The McNaughton rules.
Yes. In July 1992, on the Isle of Man, who became the last person sentenced to death in the UK for the murder of Corinne Bentley?
Anthony Tier.
Yes. In which prison were 7 US servicemen executed in 1945 under American military rules?
Shepton Mallet.
It was. Hanged at Cardiff for the murder of Lily Volpert in 1952, whose conviction was quashed in 1998?
Mahmoud Matan.
Yes. Who, when he was hanged at Barlinnie, Glasgow in December 1960, aged 19, became the last teenager to be executed?
Anthony Miller.
Yes, the Crime and Disorder Act of 1998 abolished the death penalty for the last 2 remaining capital offences in the UK. One was treason. What was the other?
Violent piracy.
Yes, after 1944, Joseph Reynolds was the only prisoner to be executed at which prison?
Leicester.
Correct. Section 2 of the Homicide Act of 1957 cited diminished responsibility as a defence against the charge of murder, and Section 4 cited suicide pacts. What did Section 3 cite?
Pass.
On the 10th of December 61, who became the last man hanged in Northern Ireland?
Robert McGladdery.
Yes, the deathbed evidence of which police constable led to the execution of Alfred Moore in February 1952 for shooting 2 policemen?
P.C. Jagger.
Yes, in 1945, which American serviceman, a guard at a prisoner of war camp near Rugeley in Staffordshire, became the last man to be hanged for rape?
Aniceto Martinez.
Correct. You passed on only one question. Section 3 of the Homicide Act cited provocation as a defence. You had 1 pass. You have, Andrew Warmington, 13 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Richard Johnston.
Your occupation?
Finance director.
And your chosen subject?
History of the Rugby Union World Cup.
Rugby, in 2 minutes, starting now. In which city in March 85 did the meeting take place when the International Rugby Football Board voted to stage a World Cup?
Paris.
Yes. Which New Zealand flanker scored the first ever World Cup try when the All Blacks beat Italy 70-6 in the opening game of the 1987 tournament?
Michael Jones.
It was. Who scored the only try of the 1991 final when Australia beat England 12-6?
Tony Daly.
Yes. Johnny Wilkinson was the leading point scorer in the 2003 tournament with 113 points, who was second with 103 points.
Michalak.
Yes. Better known as a rugby league and soccer venue, which West Yorkshire Stadium hosted the New Zealand versus Italy Pool B game in October 1999?
Huddersfield.
Correct. Which Northampton fullback won his last England cap as a winger when he played in the 1995 third-place playoff against France?
Pass.
Which country reached the quarter-finals of the 87 competition despite being beaten 13-74 by New Zealand in a pool game?
Fiji.
Yes. Which centre who played for Western Samoa in 91 went on to play for the All Blacks in 95?
Frank Bunce.
Yes. Whose last try for Scotland gave them a 20-all draw against France in a pool match in 87?
Matt Duncan.
Correct. Who scored 6 tries when the All Blacks beat Japan 145-17 in 1995 in the same match in which Simon Culhane scored a record 45 points?
Mark Ellis.
Correct. Son of an All Black and an All Black trialist himself, who captained Japan in the 1999 competition?
James Joseph.
Andrew McCormick. In the 2003 finals, which country had the lowest overall score with a total of 28 points?
Namibia.
Yes. Who announced his international retirement along with Finlay Calder after Scotland lost the third-place playoff in 1991?
John Jeffrey.
Yes. Which country made its only appearance to date in the Rugby World Cup finals in 1999?
Spain.
Correct. After scoring against Japan at Cardiff in 1999, who famously lifted his Welsh jersey to reveal a T-shirt with the words "Free Colin Jarvis"?
Gareth Thomas.
Yes. The scrum half Dimitri Yachvili played for which country? I've started, so I shall finish. For which country in the 2003 World Cup?
France.
Correct. You had one pass there, Richard Johnston. The name of the Northampton fullback was Ian Hunter. You have scored, though, 14 points. And the next contender, please. And your name is?
Andy Kelly,
Occupation?
Development Officer.
And your chosen subject?
The Life and Films of John Belushi.
2 minutes on John Belushi, starting now. Inherited from his father, what was John's middle name?
Adam.
Correct. After graduating from Wheaton Central High School, John turned down a football scholarship to which university?
Wisconsin.
Western Illinois. Dan Aykroyd described his friend John as a good man, but what?
Had his problems.
A bad boy. In which 1977 film made for television did John and Dan Aykroyd appear as the Blues Brothers?
Pass.
What was the name of the Hollywood hotel where John died of a drug overdose in March 1982?
The Chateau Marmont.
Correct. What was the name of John's sweetheart from high school days whom he married in 1976?
Judy Jacqueline.
Yes. What is the title of the biography of John written by his widow in response to Bob Woodward's biography Wired?
It's called Wired.
Samurai Widow. Which 2002 documentary film directed by Eugene Yaretsky features archive footage of a Saturday Night Live skit by John?
Henry Kissinger.
Correct. In a publicity poster for the Blues Brothers, Jake and Elwood were described as the most devastating team since what?
Batman and Robin.
No, Nitro and Glycerin. What was the name of the sometime backing singer who supplied John with his lethal dose, eventually serving a jail term for her part in his death?
Kathy Smith.
Yes, in the film Continental Divide, John plays a reporter, Ernie Sushak, and is sent to the Rockies to write a feature on Nell Porter, who is studying which creature?
The Eagle.
Yes, John's big break occurred when his impression of which British rocker brought him to the attention of the editor of the National Lampoon magazine?
Joe Cocker.
Yes, recorded live at the Universal Amphitheatre in LA, what was the title of the Blues Brothers album released by Atlantic in 1978?
A Briefcase Full of Blues.
It was. Which song did his friend James Taylor sing at John's funeral service?
Love Everlasting.
No, That Lonesome Road. What was the name of the drama and speech teacher at Wheaton Central High who encouraged John to pursue a career in acting?
Pass.
In a parody of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, shown on Saturday Night Live on the 24th of April 1976, John played Randall P. McMurphy, but who played the wicked nurse... I shall finish. Who played the wicked nurse Ratched?
I think it was Gilda Radner.
It was Raquel Welch. You had 2 passes. The name of the drama and speech teacher was Dan Payne. And that 1977 film made for television was Things We Did Last Summer. 2 passes. You have scored, Andy Kelly, 8 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Gordon Troughton,
Occupation?
retired telephone engineer,
And your chosen subject?
the Birmingham Royal Ballet.
In 2 minutes, starting now, when Sadler's Wells Royal Ballet moved to Birmingham in 1990, it became Birmingham Royal Ballet, with whom as its artistic director?
Peter Wright.
Correct. David Bintley's ballet Nutcracker Sweeties mingles jazz, dance and classical ballet to which band leader's version of the Tchaikovsky score?
Duke Ellington.
Yes. Following the death of Princess Margaret, who accepted the company's invitation to become her successor as president of BRB?
Pass.
Opened by BRB in 2002, what is the name of the Centre for the Prevention and Treatment of Dance Injuries?
It's the... No, pass.
Named Dancer of the Year in '94 and twice nominated for an Olivier Award, who became ballet mistress of BRB in 1995?
Marion Tate.
Correct. Who designed the costumes for the 1999 production of the Shakespeare Suite and the 2000 production of Arthur?
Peter Mumford.
Jasper Conran, first performed by BRB in '96, Still Life at the Penguin Cafe, includes music by which composer who died in '97?
Simon Jeffers.
Correct. Receiving its world premiere in Birmingham in December 2003, Bintley's Beauty and the Beast includes music by which Canadian composer?
Glenn Boer.
Correct. Opened in 2000, which theatre complex is regarded as Birmingham Royal Ballet's home in the northwest of England?
Pass.
Which of David Bintley's ballets became a set work on the 2002 GCSE dance syllabus?
Still Life at the Penguin Cafe.
Correct. Both promoted to principal in 2002, which duo danced the Tchaikovsky pas de deux at the Queen's Golden Jubilee Gala?
Pass.
Who created the role of Sugar Rum Cherry in Nutcracker Sweeties, having previously made her debut in a principal role in Galanteries?
Monica Zamora.
Correct. In '92, Sir Kenneth Macmillan created a new production for BRB of which of his ballets, first performed by Fontaine and Nureyev in 1965?
Romeo and Juliet.
Correct. The mixed bill of 3 individual ballets performed in 2002 was Way Out West, consisted of Concert Fantasy, Western Symphony, and which other ballet?
Fancy Free.
Fancy Free is the correct answer. You had 4 passes there. The duo was danced by Nao Sakuma and Che Tsao. It was the Lowry, opened in 2000, which came to be regarded as the BRB's home in the northwest. And the Jerwood Centre was the centre for the prevention and treatment of dance injuries, and it was Prince Charles who took over from Princess Margaret as president of the BRB. You had those 4 passes, Gordon Troughton. You have 9 points. Now that brings us to the end of our first round specialist subject. So let's take a look at the scores. In 4th place with 8, Andy Kelly. 3rd place with 9, Gordon Troughton. 2nd place with 13, Andrew Warmington. In the lead, just with 14, Richard Johnston. So we move to our general knowledge round now, and if there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into consideration, and the contender with the fewest number of passes will be declared the winner. If there's still a tie on points, then there will be a 5-question playoff. So on to the general knowledge round now, and let me first ask Andy Kelly to join us again, please. And 8 points with John Belushi. Why John Belushi? Because he died very young. He didn't do all that much, did he?
Oh, he was a lot of talent, though, John. He was a really good singer and comedian and comedy actor. Just crossed all those boundaries.
Some people die young in show business and become sort of legends, almost because they died young. It didn't happen that way with him, did it?
I think it's a bit of a slow-burning thing with John Belushi. He's kind of a cult figure that's grown over the last 20 years, as opposed to when he was popular in the States as well. He was very, very popular, but not really in the UK until later on.
Silly question in a way, but had he not died when he did, was he going to go on to great things?
I would have thought so. I mean, all his peers, Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase and Bill Murray, they're all kind of international stars now, and Belushi would have been within that.
Right, you scored 8 points with your knowledge of John Belushi. Let's try your general knowledge now. 2 minutes again. Which Ghanaian became Secretary-General of the United Nations in 1996?
Kofi Annan.
Correct. Which 19th century social reformer established a model cooperative industrial community at New Lanark in Scotland?
Pass.
Which Dutch liqueur is made from egg yolk, sugar, vanilla and brandy?
Avocat.
Correct. Whose kingship of Scotland was finally recognised by Edward III in the Treaty of Northampton of 1328?
Robert the Bruce.
Yes. If you were watching league football at either the City Ground or Meadow Lane, in which city would you be?
Nottingham.
Yes. Which 18th century composer's symphony numbers 6, 7 and 8 are entitled Le Matin, Le Midi and Le Soir?
Bizet.
Haydn, who in a Newsnight interview in May 97 was asked 14 times by Jeremy Paxman whether he threatened to overrule the prison's chief Derek Lewis.
Michael Howard.
Yes, also known as Irish moss, carrageen is an edible form of what?
Potato.
Seaweed. What Arabic name is given to the annual pilgrimage to Mecca, which all Muslims are expected to make at least once during their lifetime?
Hajj.
Yes, sessile and English are the two species of which tree native to Britain?
Elm.
Oak. What is the name of the stretch of water which separates Sweden from Denmark?
Pass.
Which English city was known as Lindum in Roman times?
Lincoln.
Yes. Which Dublin-born writer's works include The Bell, first published in 1958, and A Severed Head, first published in 1961?
Joyce.
Iris Murdoch. Which celebrated London sporting venue is partly bounded by Church Road and Somerset Road?
Wembley.
Wimbledon. Which Flemish artist's Adoration of the Magi hangs in the capital of King's College, Cambridge?
Rembrandt.
Rubens. Diaphoretic drugs are administered to promote what bodily function?
Breathing.
Sweating. Regulus is the brightest star in which zodiacal constellation?
Canis Minor.
Leo. What is the name of the mirage that appears above the Straits of Messina between Italy and Sicily and is attributed to the fairy half-sister of King Arthur?
Pass.
Willie Loman is the leading character in which play by Arthur Miller?
Death of a Salesman.
Yes. Which British actor won... I've started the question, so I shall finish it. Which British actor won an Oscar for his portrayal of Klaus von Bülow, who was acquitted of the attempted murder of his wife in the 1990 film Reversal of Fortune?
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons it was. You had 3 passes there. The name of the mirage that appears over the Straits of Messina is Fata Morgana. The name of the stretch of water separating Sweden from Denmark is the Kattegat. And the 19th century social reformer was Robert Owen. Those 3 passes, you had 8 points. You now have, Andy Kelly, 17 points.
Thank you.
And now Gordon Troughton, if he would join us, please. So, 9 points on the Birmingham Royal Ballet.
Yep.
A formidable company, very good company, not as well known as Sadler's Wells, but there we are.
Very good company, certainly. Bit like the football teams, rather too many foreigners, but they are getting a few Britons back in it.
Oh, is that right? Have we been losing out to foreign ballet
I think
dancers?
we have a bit in the 90s, but there's at least 3 been made up to principal dancers recently. And one thing about the foreigners, and a lot of them have worked their way up from the court ballet.
Do we not do it like that here?
Probably not as much as we should do.
Right, better leave that there. 9 points on Birmingham Royal Ballet. Let's see how you do on general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. What did Benjamin Disraeli claim to have climbed to the top of when he first became Prime Minister in 1868?
The Greasy Pole.
Yes, who made the first of his many screen appearances as Sherlock Holmes in the 1939 film The Hound of the Baskervilles?
Basil Rathbone.
Yes, which British car designer was responsible for the Morris Minor and the Mini?
Alex Iziganis.
Yes, which force patrolled Texas from the 1830s until its merger with the State Highway Patrol in 1935?
Texas Rangers.
Yes, a major centre for textiles. What is Poland's second largest city?
Wrocław.
Łódź. Which Mozart opera concludes with the title character being dragged into hell?
Don Giovanni.
Yes, which country is bounded on the south by the Pacific Ocean, on the northwest by Guatemala, and on the northeast and east by Honduras?
Mexico.
El Salvador. Which Dutch artist was the main exponent of the geometrical abstract painting style, which he named neoplasticism?
Could you repeat that, please?
Which Dutch artist was the main exponent of the geometrical abstract painting style, which he named neoplasticism?
Pass.
What property of a circle is calculated by the formula pi r squared?
The area.
Correct. What did the Duke of Wellington refer to as being composed of the scum of the earth?
His army.
Yes, meaning it in Latin. What name did Freud give to the primitive part of the human personality?
Id.
Yes, which American championship golf course has all its holes named after the shrubs, trees or flowers that grow there?
Augusta.
Yes, what name is given to the seasoned jellied loaf made from the boned meat of the head of a pig?
Coloured Rhine.
Brawn. Which country's flag of green, white and red vertical stripes, adopted in 1861, is thought to derive from the standard of Napoleon's French guards who invaded the country in 1796?
Italy.
Yes. Which gland situated in the throat below the larynx controls the rate of metabolism?
Thyroid.
Yes. What was the name of the school run by Wackford Squeers in Charles Dickens' novel Nicholas Nickleby? Go on, you can answer.
It's do the boys.
You got it. Do the Boys. Do the Boys Hall. You got that. You had one pass. The Dutch artist, who was the main exponent of neoplasticism, was Piet Mondrian.
Oh.
You have, with 9 points from your first round, Gordon Troughton, 21 points.
Thank you.
And now Andrew Warmington, if he would join us, please. So, 13 points on capital punishment. It ended, I discovered, only 5 years ago.
That's correct, yes. It remained on the statute books for treason, violent piracy, and there were also technically 5 military offences for which it still applied until 1998. And it was abolished completely by when the government took on an amendment to the Human Rights Act in December 99.
Abolished completely, even in wartime?
Yes.
So, soldiers fighting on the battlefield cannot be executed?
As I understand it, yes.
Well, you scored 13 points on capital punishment. Let's try general knowledge. 2 minutes. Which cult 1969 film starring Michael Caine and a fleet of Mini Coopers was remade in 2003 with Mark Wahlberg?
The Italian Job.
Yes. What colour berets do soldiers of the UN peacekeeping force wear?
Blue.
Yes. The name of which religion that originated in the Indian subcontinent is ultimately derived from the Sanskrit word for disciple?
Hinduism.
Sikhism. Which city in 1865 succeeded Auckland as capital of New Zealand?
Canterbury.
Wellington. In May 2003, which golfer became the first woman to play on the men's tour since Babe Zacharias when she teed off in the Bank of America Colonial?
Annika Sorenstam.
Correct. The French were first described as cheese-eating surrender monkeys in an episode of which television show?
The Simpsons.
Yes. Which Renaissance artist had the surname Sanzio, although he is rarely known by it?
Pass.
On which motor racing circuit are the Woodcote Chicane and the Hanger Straight?
Brands Hatch.
Silverstone. In Fawlty Towers, what name did Manuel give to his pet rat, which he claimed was a Siberian hamster?
Basil.
Yes. Which English writer was named after the lake in Staffordshire where his parents first met?
Pass.
Which metallic element melts at about minus 39 degrees Celsius?
Mercury.
Yes. Which bridge was built in London between 1886 and 94 to the design of the architect Sir Horace Jones and civil engineer Sir John Wolfe Barry, the son of the designer of the Houses of Parliament?
Tower Bridge.
Yes. Whose Piano Concerto No. 2 in C minor was used as the theme music for the film Brief Encounter?
Debussy.
Rachmaninoff. Which animal ended up being put into the teapot at the Mad Hatter's Tea Party in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland?
The Dormouse.
Yes. Who died on the 4th of June 1941 at Dorm in the Netherlands, where he'd been living quietly as a country gentleman since 1918?
Kaiser Wilhelm.
Yes. Which comedy duo made one of their first film appearances as a team in Slipping Wives, released in 1927?
Laurel and Hardy.
Yes. Which country has the international vehicle registration letters TR?
Turkey.
Correct. What name for a device consisting of a rapidly spinning... I've started, so I'll finish. A rapidly spinning wheel mounted in a framework that allows it to tilt freely in any direction was coined by the French physicist Jean-Bernard Léon Foucault?
Gyroscope.
The gyroscope it was. You had 2 passes. The English writer we were looking for was Rudyard Kipling, and the Renaissance artist we were looking for was Raphael. 2 passes, you had 13 points. Andrew Warmington, you now have 25. And now Richard Johnston, please. And you are narrowly in the lead, or you were at the end of the first round, with your encyclopedic knowledge of the history of the Rugby Union World Cup. Rugby player yourself? Rugby fan?
Was, yes.
But a rugby fan. Well, you must be a rugby fan.
All sports, but yeah, rugby and football principally, yeah.
Now, what is the point of the Rugby World Cup? It's not a World Cup, is it? Really?
Well, you can only play with the countries that play it. And I think it's given a huge boost to the game worldwide. Certainly profile in England, particularly since last November, has gone through the roof. So I mean, it's been a great invention for the game. It only came in 1987. It was resisted for years by the home unions, who thought it would be the end of the amateur game and would give way to commercialism. And of course, they were right.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the end of the amateur game. But I think, given that, I think real rugby fans wanted the game to move on, and I think it has done.
Well, 14 points with your knowledge of the Rugby World Cup. General knowledge now, 2 minutes. Who became president of the National Union of Mine Workers in 1981?
Arthur Scargill.
Correct. Thomas Thornycroft's statue of which queen has guarded Westminster Bridge since 1902?
Victoria.
Boadicea. Which unit of force is equal to that which gives a mass of 1 kilogram and acceleration of 1 metre per second squared?
Newton.
Yes. Which of the Impressionists painted Rehearsal in 1874 and Absinthe in 1876?
Monet.
Degas. The Man of Property, published in 1906, is the first volume of which series of novels by John Galsworthy?
Forsyte Saga.
Correct. Which ready-to-eat breakfast cereal, still sold today and one of the world's first, was produced by Henry D. Perky of Denver in 1893?
Cornflakes.
Shredded wheat. Prior to becoming Archbishop of Canterbury in 1991, George Carey was the bishop of which diocese?
London.
Bath and Wells. What was the umbrella title under which Warner Brothers released their cartoon films featuring such characters as Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, Sylvester and Tweety Pie?
Looney Tunes.
Correct. The Villa San Michel, home of the Swedish writer Axel Munther, is one of the attractions on which island in the Bay of Naples?
Capri.
Correct. Who played the successful interior designer Jan Morrow opposite Rock Hudson in the 1959 film Pillow Talk?
Pass.
Which 20th century writer created a mythical pub called the Moon Under Water in an article for the Evening Standard called My Ideal Pub?
Pass.
Which team sport has the largest field of play?
Polo. Correct.
The Battle of Drumossie Moor of 1746 is better known by what name?
Culloden.
Correct. Which British boxer lost to Muhammad Ali in a World Championship fight at Highbury in May 1966?
Henry Cooper.
Correct. Which Shakespearean king describes himself as more sinned against than sinning?
King Lear.
Yes. In a treatise published in 1753, the Edinburgh naval surgeon James Lind recommended fresh fruits and citrus juices to prevent which deficiency disease then prevalent among sailors?
Scurvy.
Yes. In 1798, who published Inquiry into the Cause and Effect of the Variolae Vaccine? I shall finish the question. The results of a test on 8-year-old James Phipps.
Pasteur.
Jenner. You passed on 2 questions. Richard Johnston, the 20th century writer we wanted was George Orwell. He wrote about My Ideal Pub, called The Moon Under Water, and it was Doris Day who played in Pillow Talk.
Yep.
You had 14 points. You now have 24 points. So, at the end of the general knowledge round, the end of the contest, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 17 points, Andy Kelly. In 3rd place with 21 points, Gordon Troughton. 2nd place with 24 points, Richard Johnston. Just edged ahead with 25 points, Andrew Warmington. So Andrew Warmington goes through to the next round and moves a step closer, maybe, to becoming our Mastermind champion. Congratulations to him. Please join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Next, Jules Hudson hears how the factory workers of Birmingham helped Britain win the war. Then dazzling dishes of duck, chicken and ham hock, and a spicy menu with Raymond Blanc from 3:25.